time and not scold our community and not lead them down a false road. We need to come out with constructive uh, solutions on how we can unite ourselves back like we were when we really were a piece of it.
I agree. I agree. That's history. That's history. You ain't changing the program. You being real.
Yeah.
That's not
I
changing it.
think that in order to organize the black community, the religious people, the religious leaders, they're gonna have to get involved. They cannot play a part talking about I'm working in the background. Because if you're working in the background and nobody know you're working or what you're doing, that's not doing anything.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
also too, no attack on the, because it's not the religious community, no attack on the minister. Where is your faith and how far do you extend your faith? Is your faith community, people, young people, working people, opportunities? What is your baseline? Where we are used to, our age group, we know that the whole movement started in the church.
Okay. Well, I'd like to say this. Faith would be like the pastor in Boston who paid my rent twice. He said when he had his religious robe on and he walked with his son to the supermarket, he had his hat on, it's not all that even, but he said, "What do you need? Is everything all right?" And that's what faith should be all about, is what are we doing? Like my boss's son said, what are you doing for the people? And so, the pastor my boss's son took a chair out of his office so I could sit at the machine and steam the sweaters and stuff like that. So faith really has to do with what are you doing to help people. And the other thing is, we make mistakes along the way. I was giving out writing called a sick and shut in. And I had to be careful because when I wrote an article on asthma in the Black Voices newspaper at community college, she didn't get the message across the right way. I said, I gotta be careful. I said, me being involved in a legal matter, I said, if you don't get this right, then that could come back to haunt me. And I said, so whenever we make a statement about something serious, we have to make sure we get it right. That's what an attorney told me. He said, if you're going to talk about health, you better make sure that you say it and know what you're talking about. So the whole object, I wrote to the sick and shut in. I figured out if they'll wait for them to call me back or write to me, then I would be able to give them my input and make sure that what my message was saying to them was the right thing to say. And I didn't hear from them, so I gave the pastor information about a no and yes list about what you should avoid when it comes to eating habits and what you should have. So I said at the men's meeting this week, he passed that information on to the people, and he got the credit for what I said about health, because doctors were saying he don't know what he's talking about. He's not a doctor. But the whole objective is at the men's meeting this past Wednesday, I just told, like I said, I took my pot up to my sister's. It has a steamer inside, and I said I took my catfish and I put it in there, and I said the oil is already oily. I said I just let the oil drain down into the pot, and that way you're not frying anything, so that's better for you. The whole objective is, the solution is, what can we say to people that will make us healthy, that will protect us and make us safe? What can we do that will help people who are struggling with problems, kids that are saying that we're silent, scream for help and nobody hears us? Our politicians are not hearing us. Our religious leaders are trying to make an effort to get things done. But we all need to come together as an open meeting where everybody comes and expresses their solutions to the problem we deal with.
All right, all right. Well, clap it up for you, gentlemen, because I just think that, people being able to hear from history. When you say history, you gentlemen are history. We get a chance to look and see history, touch it, feel it, and find out, different things. Cause I love talking to Mr. Daniels, cause he's from Alabama, right? And last week we had an opportunity to have a show, just him and I, and we up close and we talked about a lot of different things that he had experienced, right? So when he's talking about, or when these gentlemen are talking about the things that they're talking about, it's because they've experienced, they lived in the 60s. They lived in the 70s, they lived in the 50s, and the 40s. You know what I'm saying? So they lived it, so they know what they're talking about. So when they're saying about the meetings, the leadership, and things like that, they're saying bring that back so we can build a solid foundation for our community. Because like you said earlier, we help every race, we help everybody, but we don't see a lot of people running to help us. We will fight, we don't care, we will go out there, we'll rally for someone, we'll stand in line for you, we'll do all of those different things, right? But then when it comes down to us.
Excuse me, you know why they don't come to us? Because we don't service ourselves. First of all, if I see you with great wealth come in to Mr. Daniels' community, what do you need? What can I do to help you? We're like this, and we're not receiving the Lord.
Yeah.
We're receiving whatever handout there is to be hung out. And unfortunately, a display from our black celebrities is almost embarrassing. You're wearing your whole wealth on you, okay? And what are you doing with it? What are you doing with it for your people? Every last one of you came from somewhere. You might have came from the bottom. You might have came from the middle, you might have came from the top, but you came from somewhere. So you know something? You gotta turn around, because if it's in your heart, it's a melody of joy divine. I am his and he is mine. You ask me how, I know that God is real, because it's in my heart.
Let me tell you something. When you say blacks came from somewhere, they came from poverty. That's where they came from.
Okay.
Because when blacks was released from slavery, blacks didn't have anything. I mean, they didn't have a hammer and a nail. They didn't have anything. But some kind of way, they all got together, one black man, and built a house. And then after he built the house, he built an apartment building so other blacks could have some place to live. Then they built schools so they can have some place to go to learn. Then they had built hospitals so they had a place to go when they got sick. Then they built restaurants. They built these communities throughout America.
That's right.
I don't have to sit here and name them all.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
But I can tell you what happened to them. They was burned down, bombed, or flooded. Central Park used to be a black neighborhood, but they flooded it. You know, and this is what happened. But my question is this: if I come out of slavery with nothing, and I can build a school, you are a black billionaire, and you get on television and talk about the problems of the community, but you don't come into the neighborhood. Then you got the young men that grew up in the neighborhood, that was fortunate enough to have a 300 IQ, or he played basketball, or he played football, or whatever, and he got rich. He didn't come back to the neighborhood and say, let me put up 4 stores and create some jobs.
No, he did not.
He moved on.
Yes, he did.
When I was growing up in Alabama, I never heard one person say, not one in my neighborhood say, I got to get some money and get out of this neighborhood. What you heard was, I'm going to get some money and build my mama a house. And this is what happened. You got to love your neighborhood, and you got to love your people most of all.
That's in the Bible. Love thy neighbor as thyself.
You can't say you love black people and you get $4 and won't give your brother $1. You can't do that. And I hear all these guys that I see on television. I hear it and I see it on television. Comes across my phone, talk about how tough their neighborhood was. I lived in the projects in here. I lived in the projects in there. Well, they have projects everywhere. So why your project was so bad? You knew everybody in the project. It's just a matter of time. If you live in the project, it's just a matter of time back then before you knew everybody.
Yes, you
Because
did.
you went to school together.
Yes, you
You
did.
went to church together.
Yes, you did.
And neighbors looked out for neighbors. But my question now is, why is it that our young black men and black women, when they get money now, the black community is not good enough for them?
See, here's the thing, brother. Like my friend Clarence Joshua reminded me of Martin Luther King. He set an example. In other words, we coming from homes that are dysfunctional. A lot of fathers are not there. My father told my mother to get out when I was 4 years old. He saw her sitting in Uncle Abe's bar down there, I guess it was on Willow Street, whatever. She got tired of being in the house all the time while he was out in the street every night. He had a gift of gab, he was strong and all of that. But you have to set an example like Brother Jasper did. When his son was born, his leg was a little out of order. Brother Jasper would come home, play with his kid, and just make him laugh, and encouraging them. His daughter, she wasn't perfect either, but anyway, he just was a man who cared about his family, and he let his wife know when she was out on the floor dancing and getting a little too shaky, he went out on the floor and grabbed her, said, "No, you're gonna be with me for the rest of my days, so that there's not gonna be any looseness." And he raised his kids by the example he set. He was patient. I remember when they was in the backyard, him and Jimmy, the closest of us, and he got Jimmy down. Jimmy said, "D, you only got one arm," because he lost his arm in the factory where I crushed my foot. But the whole object of this, he was a strong man with a strong voice. He could have been a great lawyer. He was definitely into all kinds of, he led the Black World News, what was that magazine? Was it Black World?
Yeah.
And Black Digest, whatever. He read these things. He always kept up with everything that was going on in Black history and everything. And when the Martin Luther King got killed, or the guy down there in California got beat up by the cops or whatever when there was a riot, they took his laundromat and broke the window. He put a big sign that said, "Black man." So why are we just down on each other? We should be pulling together. And if somebody is down, I say, "God, help me to help somebody today." It might be $1, it might be $2, but somebody out there is struggling and they need something to eat and all of that. Sometimes I'll be on the bus and I see a guy with a cup and it's freezing cold out there and he's asking the cars for something. I want to throw money out the window so he can have something, because I know what it's like to be hungry. I done been into hardships where I had to ask the guy at the Jamaican restaurant, "Can you just give me some rice for a couple of dollars and I'll be back and pay you," you know? So people will do that. They will keep you inside of the transportation so you won't freeze all
All
day.
right, so what I'm hearing
we
is,
gotta look out for food.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing, not to cut you off, is that, we have to look out for each other. We have to continue to work with our youth, right? We have to continue to embrace our men, our women. And also, when we're saying about Black history is who we are. If you're African American, I don't care, you don't have to be in the history books. Your history, it could be in your community, helping people in your neighborhood, making sure that the children know how to read and write. There's so many things that we can do to help each other. So this is one of the reasons why I connected with Hub 13, helping urban businesses, because they allow people to come in here with resources and they do feedings in here and different things of that nature, helping people with their businesses, because you gotta have somebody there to help. Somebody gotta have that hand out, you know what I'm saying? So I try to connect with people that are doing that, you know what I mean? And so I love you gentlemen for being on here, and we always invite other people to be about, be a part of the show, because the show is about diversity. It's not just about a one-sided show, you know what I mean? But right now, we're talking about Black History Month. That is what the conversation is at the moment, because we want to hear about Black History Month, because there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, people, up in arms about all kinds of stuff. I even seen a post the other day where the white women are mad because the black men are now looking at black women again. So they're in an uproar. So everybody's in an uproar about something. You know what I mean? But we as a community, we got support. each other.
The devil is busy and the devil's in charge.
Yeah, very busy.
Okay, and he's in charge.
I don't know what he in charge
No,
of.
he's in charge,
He
because he
in charge
talks
of something,
every
but he ain't over
day
here.
on that airway.
On
And
that.
puts something out there to make you, not necessarily you, but you and you think about something that's not right.
That's not right, but we gotta keep our eye on Jesus, so as soon as you think that you're starting to get distracted, just say, thank you, God, and get back over to him. But like the gentleman said, find out what you can do in your community. It doesn't matter what race you are, because right about now, child, we all in the same pot. Turn the light out, we all the same color, we all dark, okay?
Yeah,
But we got, but hey, go ahead, Mr.
But here's the problem. We don't have any community-based leadership. Oh, we got a city council person, but the city council person is not the community leader. The city council person's job is to make sure that the neighborhood get resources, not just to sit up on city council, but to make sure things come to the
That the
neighborhood.
neighborhood is clean.
But the
safe.
neighborhood supposed to have community leaders working to bring the people together. See, in order for any community to survive, the people in the community have to work together. I don't care how much these people do over here. If you're not working in your community, you're not gonna get anything done.
You right.
And that's what I'm talking about. This is where the church come in at. Excuse me. The civil rights and all this struggle went through the churches. So the community knew everything that was going on with the civil rights movement and knew everything that was going on in Birmingham. Because when people went to church, they talked about it. And then they go to the community centers and they talked about it. So whatever they needed in the community that I grew up in, if a person died, they had the pallbearers. They had the people to cook the food, you know, after the funeral and stuff. They had all that because they was organized. And a lady was saved. She worked at night from 12 to 8. They called up to this place called George Hobson, said, I need a ride. I need to go to work. Who up there with a car? Whoever was there, go and take Miss Brady to work.
Yeah.
Or take my car and take Miss Brady to work. That's the community.
That's
That's what you
community.
call a
That's
community.
community.
This
That's
is what we
community.
gotta get back to and quit looking at who got this and who got that. We got to look at what we can do to help each other.
Yes, we do, and I
That-
love it.
That is true, but you know something, part of that downfall, and I'm glad you brought it up. There used to be committee people in each ward.
Yeah.
All right, and they were in communication with that ward's city council person. So that's how, I'm an ex-committee man.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and I know my function was, I knew everybody in North 17. All right, because that's what I was supposed to do. And if there was a problem that I couldn't get on the phone and handle, I would call that council person for the North Ward.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
So I just want to thank you all for tuning in. Also, before I just want to just mention this before I go. Give me 2 more minutes. For anyone who is in the Aging Gracefully group, we have 51K people in that group. That group is now shut down for a while. It got shut down last week. But we've moved over and we've been over there to Aging Gracefully. We have a lot of great things going on, right? But I was telling the gentleman that page the people that was in it wasn't us. It was the people, wanting to scam people when they see a lot of numbers and things of that nature. People wanted to do certain things. If it's a page about aging gracefully, I don't want y'all posting stuff that had nothing to do with aging. You know what I'm saying? So when it got shut down, I was kind of relieved about it because the request was coming in every 2 minutes, and that's a lot. That is a lot. You know what I mean? And like I said, I had been contacted by some authorities about the page, and like they said, most of it was people scamming people or trying to scam people. If it comes back up, but that 51 over there, that can stay over there. We're good. Because remember, I kept telling y'all before. I said if this page keep acting up, I'll go back to the 100. So right now, we're at 250. We started over again, we're at 250,
Okay.
250 people.
Okay.
So like I said, if you don't act right, I'm not about to be
I don't blame you.
doing all that. You know what I mean? It ain't lucrative or nothing, so I'm not about to keep fooling with all that.
And anyhow, we can reach 5 people, that's.
Where 2 or 3 are gathered, okay?
That's right,
So,
that's
but
right.
listen, it's your
That's
girl
right.
Yolanda L. Robinson. Thank you all for tuning in to Aging Gracefully, because we are aging gracefully. We'll be back next week, and like we always say to people, you are welcome to come and be a part of our studio audience. If you decided you want to be a part of the panel, you can come or be a part of the panel discussion with us. If you want to be a sponsor, and if you want to advertise your business, like I said, we have a connection to a lot of people. So if you want to advertise, you can advertise with us, okay? We have a great advertising package if you want to do that. But if you just want to join in and just listen, that's fine with us too, all right? But this is where we're at. We're at 13 West Front Street, Trenton, New Jersey at Hub 13. Thank you, Hub 13. This is a business incubator where we service people and help them with their businesses. Today is Match That Monday, so we'll be back here tonight talking about finances and things of that nature. And then also, I have started my birthday tour as of yesterday. So my birthday is March the 23rd, so you all know I start my tour February 23rd and it ends April 23rd. So, with that being said, woohoo! Every season is coming, but don't forget to love yourself, love other people, and pray and ask God every night to forgive you for your sins that are seen and unseen. It's us, y'all. Clap it up. Woo!
Lift every voice and sing.
Yes, lift every voice and sing to earth and heaven.